Thank you. So then Devyani wants to take revenge by having Sharmista as her maid servant. So now Yayati and Devyani both got married, and Devyani also got a maid servant who was the princess of Daitya dynasty. Okay. So Devyani and Yayati started, leading the family life, and Devyani started ordering Sharmista to massage her legs, whatever, how much ever she wants her to make her feel like maid servant, she was doing, she was imposing all nasty things on Sharmista, and Sharmista, without any hesitation, she started serving Devyani, because, Sharmista was so afraid that, if she doesn't listen to Devyani, again, she'll go back and complain to her father, and her father may do whatever he want to my father, and he may also devastate my kingdom also, like that. With that fear, Sharmishta completely surrendered to Devayani. So Devayani took advantage of that humbleness of Sharmishta, and they started leading. And meanwhile, Yayati and Devayani got conceived by Yayati. And since it was her first, conceived, since since Devayani was conceived for the first time, so Devayani took permission from Yayati to go to her mother's house, because women generally, their first, they give birth. I mean, first time when they get conceived, they spend their time, the pregnancy time, at their mother's house, because it is said that when a woman is pregnant, so she should be in such a place where she feels so pleasant. Okay, so that's the reason she took permission from Ayati to go to Shukracharya's house and spend the rest of the time till she delivers a baby. So then Ayati became alone, and once Ayati was wandering in a park nearby their house. There, Yayati Maharaj saw Sharmishta. Sharmishta was, so beautiful, and she was crying. Then Yayati Maharaj went to Sharmishta, and she inquired what was the reason for her upset. Then Sharmishta explained, she, being a woman and being a princess of one of the, kingdom. So my life has become alone. Nobody is there. I cannot marry anybody. My whole life has been meant to Devayani, serving Devayani only, like that. She laments. Okay, then Yayati, he tries to console her in the while consoling, they both get attracted to each other, and they commit. Okay, and then Sharmishta realizes after that, and she says that, my dear king, what have you done? If Devayani knows this, then she will not excuse me, like that, Sharmishta says. Then Yayati says that, don't worry, I will marry you, and this marriage is called Gandharva. So in those days, there was one type of marriage, which is called Gandharva. That means that, without any rituals, a boy and girl, they promise each other that they lead life together forever. So like that, they propose each other, and they exchange the garland. Like that, the marriage is done. Okay, so that is called Gandharva. In that way, they gets married, and Devayani, she doesn't return back to Yayati Maharaj.
ये हंसी के वो रहते ना गुड़िया.
Okay, thank you. So Devani usually takes a couple of years to return back, and meanwhile, Sharmishta gets conceived, and she gives birth to two sons. Okay, so three sons. Sorry. Okay, so one is Druhya, Andru, and Kuru. Okay, and Devyani gives birth to two sons. Okay, one is Yadu, and other one is Turvasu. Okay, so after couple of years, Devyani comes back to Yayati Maharaj, and she finds that Yayati Maharaj is not very close to Devyani in the way how he used to be. So she gets some doubt, and then somehow she finds out that Yayati Maharaj and Sharmishta got married, and and Sharmishta gave birth to three children. Like that, she gets to know. Then Devyani again becomes so furious, and she goes back to her father and she complains to her father that, my dear father, your son-in-law did a big mistake. He cheated me and he got married to Sharmishta and she gave birth to 3 children. Like that, she complains and she starts crying like anything. Then Shukracharya, looking at the lamentation of Devayani, so he becomes so furious and he comes to Yayati Maharaj. And Yayati Maharaj will be shaking, like, um, he was so afraid of Shukracharya because Shukracharya can, curse anything. And immediately Shukracharya came to Yayati Maharaj and Shukracharya cursed Yayati Maharaj that, so looking at your youthfulness, so looking at your mighty and strength, you are married to another woman, right? Now I'm going to curse you so that, you become so old that, you can't even walk properly. Like that, Shukracharya curses Yayati Maharaj. Then, out of angry, he cursed his son-in-law, but who is going to lose? So for whom and who is going to experience the loss? Can anybody tell?
His daughter.
Okay.
Devayani.
What is his daughter's name?
Devayani.
Devyani.
Wonderful, wonderful. So because, Devayani, his husband is Yayati. If Yayati Maharaj got cursed by Sukracharya, obviously, Devayani also has to experience the curse, because she cannot lead a life with an old person, right? So then, Devyani again goes to her father and, my dear father, what have you done? You made my husband you cursed him, but okay, that's fine. You punished him. But, I am more than him. I am the one who has to take the punishment, because how can I lead my life, rest of my life with this old person? So please, take back your curse and do something. Do give us some remedy so that, this he can again come back to his youth, like that. Devyani requests his father, and Yayati Maharaj also, he falls on the feet of Shukracharya and he requests. Then Shukracharya, what he does is, so he gives them a remedy that, my dear Yayati, so you have 3 children, 3 plus 2, 5 children. So if any of your kids, any of your children takes your, elderliness, and if they give their youthfulness to you, then, you can enjoy the youthfulness to the extent you want. And later on, you can exchange your, old age from them to you. Like that, exchange of ages I can give you, but I cannot completely take away the curse, like that. Shukracharya tells to Yayati Maharaj. Now, Yayati Maharaj, he calls his 5 sons. He asks his sons, he tells to his sons that, see, I got cursed by your grandfather. He cursed me so and so. And now I still wanted to enjoy the youthfulness, because, I haven't turned to old age, but still because of curse, I turned to old age. If some of you can exchange my oldness, in exchange of that, if you give me your youthfulness, then I will make you the emperor of this king, like that. Yayati Maharaj promises to his kids. And he asks the first son of Devayani. His name is Yadu. So the Yadava dynasty, from where the Krishna descends from. Okay, so Yadu Maharaj, he asks Yadu. Then Yadu, denies the proposal. He says, my dear father, what are you talking? Who wants this kingdom by being a old, or by being a eldest body, by being a old person? Who wants the kingdom? How can I enjoy the kingdom? Even if you give the kingdom, if I am an elderly person, what enjoyment can I do? I am not ready to take your proposal, my dear. I don't want your old age, like that. Yadu denies, and in the same way, the second son of Devayani also denies, and same has been followed by Drupya and Anuruddha of Anudruha of Sharmishta sons. So 4 of his sons denies his proposal, and Yayati Maharaj, he curses them and he asks them to leave leave his place immediately. And he tells to them that, my rightful share of this kingdom will not be handed over to you because you denied my proposal. And the only son who accepts his proposal is Kuru. Okay, so he is the main root of the Kuru Vamsh. So upon his name, he is the main forefather of Kuru dynasty. So eventually the Kuru name has been converted to Kuru. Okay, and the Kuru dynasty exploded. Okay, And what happened to this king Yadu? He went back and he was nearby, okay, was close to his father, but he was not a king. So none of the Yadu dynasty people from that time were eligible to rule any kingdom. Okay, so that's the reason Lord Krishna, he did not rule any particular place. Okay, and the second son of Devayani, okay, who is called Turvasu. So this person, he developed hatred towards his father, and he left to the place which is called Middle East. Okay, so the Middle East place, now the Middle East place, we know the Middle East countries. He went to that place, Turvasu, and he started staying there. And his dynasty is the present Mohammedans and Turkish people. Okay, so he is the forefather of the present Turkish people. And next, Drukya, he was within the Bharatavarsha, and he tried to reside in one of the place in Bharatavarsha. And another son of Sharmishta, Anudruha, he traveled, he also developed hatred towards his father, and he traveled to the European countries and he started living there. And upon his name, so the present Europeans are the grandchildren of Anudruha, whose father was Yayati, and who comes in the Chandra Vamsha dynasty. Okay, so that's the reason the Europeans are called Malecha, and the Middle East people are called Yavanas. Okay, so these are the roots of the population which is there present on this planet Earth. Okay, likewise, there is Chandra dynasty, Surya dynasty also. There is a big lineage of that, because we are discussing about Bhagavad Gita. So we discuss the Chandra dynasty. So then Puru, and after that, okay. So after that Puru, and after Puru, there is a big lineage. Okay. One moment. Okay. Okay. So Puru, Manasuyu, and Neelal, Ratnadari, his wife, then Dushyanta, then Bharata, then Baumanyu, Suhotra, Hasti. Upon Hasti, King Hasti, the present name of Delhi, Hastinapur, has been named. Okay, the son was Vikancha, Ajameda, and he has 2,000 sons. Okay, then his son, one of his son was Sumvarna, and then one of his son was Kuru. And as I said, the Puru name converted into Kuru. So upon that name, the Kuru dynasty exploded. Okay, then Vidrutha, grandson, Pratipati. Then Pratipati's son was Shantanu Maharaj, and Shantanu's wives were Shantanu had two wives. One is Mother Ganga herself, another wife is Satyavati, and Satyavati's children are Vichitra Virya Chitrangada, and both of them died without giving birth to any sons. They were unable to beget any sons. And their wives were left, the Vichitra Virya and Chitrangada's wives were left without any children. And they got conceived by the grace of Vyasa Muni, okay, Vyasa Maharshi, in a process called Niyoga process. Okay, through Niyoga process, he blessed Ambika and Ambalika and Ambika with two sons, and there was one maid servant to whom Vyasa blessed, and her son was Vidura. So Ambalika's son was Pandu, and Ambika's son was Dhritarashtra, and Dhritarashtra's sons were Kauravas, and Pandu's sons were the Pandavas. So both are called Kuruvamsha only. Both are called as Kuruvamsha only, but because they had differences in between, so they became Pandus and they become Kurus. Okay, Kauravas.
Do you want to listen?
Hare Krishna. So that's how the Kuru dynasty sprouted from the scratch. Okay, and so till here, anybody has any doubt?
No, Prabhu.
Thanks, Prabhuji, for the
No,
excellent
Prabhuji.
explanation.
Thank you very much. So I wanted to let all of us know that, all of you know that where from we come, because See, nowadays the present situation of Sanatan Dharma is like that, these people doesn't have any starting, they just cook up some stories and they tell like that, There is a wrong conception and people say that, these are all mythologies. No, these are not mythologies, these are histories. We have proof from where it started, how it explored, and how there was a uh, cause, okay, because of which we lost. All these proofs we have. So I just wanted to add some authenticity to the subject. That's the reason I had to come from the scratch. Okay. After the Pandavas and the Kauravas took birth, we all know the history. The Kauravas, always behind the lives of Pandavas. They wanted Pandavas to kill and rule the entire dynasty. Okay, Dhritarashtra was the main supporter to Duryodhana, who was always constant enemy of Pandavas. Okay, and they were exiled. Though they came back from the exile, they were cheated in gambling match. Okay, so people say that the Yudhishthir Maharaj had a habit of playing gambling match, but he never had a habit of gambling match. He is the true definition of a self-controlled man. Okay. However, the reason why he had to play the gambling match is that time in Dwapar Yuga, there was a rule that if any king invites you to participate or play the gambling match, they should not deny. That was the dharmic rule that they had in Dwapar Yuga. Okay, so Yudhishthir Maharaj, being a very virtuous king, he knows all the dharmas, but he always tries to listen from the seniors. Okay, so he could not reject the offer of playing gambling match with the Kauravas. So that's the reason he had to accept the proposal, and he know that they're going to cheat, but still so for him the only pleasure is following dharma. For us, the pleasure is being prosper, having many opulences, spending time going out and all this, material things we enjoy it. But for Yudhishthir Maharaj, the only pleasure is following dharma. So that's the character, and he's one of the favorite character to me. I like Yudhishthir Maharaj a lot. Okay? So because even though he was in exile, he was never left alone. All the Maharshis, all the Markandeya Maharshi, Gautama Muni, Vyasa Bhagavan, all of them accompanied him, and they, gave him a wonderful association, so that, at same time, by being in exile, he learned many shastras, dharmas, and he did a lot of penance. He was gifted with one, wonderful boon, that is Akshaya Patra, which has been gifted to him by Surya Bhagavan himself, and that Akshaya Patra is still there in one of the South Indian temple, which is called the Udupi temple, Udupi Krishna temple. How many of you know Udupi Krishna temple?
I know, Prabhuji. My name is Nigam. I know. The
Great.
history of Udupi temple is related to Mahabharata only.
Wonderful. So one of the characters from Mahabharata, so one of the Pandavas, who is called Bhima. Okay, so we all know Bhima. Who is Bhima? So Bhima, incarnated as one of the greatest acharya in Kali Yuga. His name is Madhvacharya. Okay, so Madhvacharya in his previous life was Bhima. Okay, so in Kali Yuga, when there was a lot of confusion between philosophies, so Madhvacharya, Bhima incarnated as Madhvacharya, and he established a philosophy which is called Dvaita philosophy, to which we belong to. So the ISKCON follows the parampara of Madhvacharya. We are called as Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay, so we follow the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, which is being inherited from the Madhvacharya's parampara. Okay, so Madhvacharya, when he was present in this Kali Yuga, so along with his disciples, he visited Kurukshetra once, and there he pulled up his club, the Gada, the Bhima's Gada, Okay, he pulled up and he showed this was my gada. In my previous life, I was very much fond of this, my weapon, like that he showed. And he personally, was able to get this Akshaya Patra also. And this Akshaya Patra, he kept in the garden. So it was handed over to his disciples who maintain that till date. And they are divided into 8 matas. Okay, each of the mata takes responsibility of safeguarding that Akshaya Patra. And now it doesn't have that power which it had in Dwapar Yuga. Okay, but it is still there. We can see if we go to Udupi Krishna temple, one of the matas, it is there. We can see. So all these proofs we have of our history. Okay, so that is the strength of our history. And then going back to the story of Mahabharata. So then Pandavas, even after coming from the exile, they were not awarded with the right share of them. They requested, they made their possible talks, compromising talks, but nothing could work because it was divine plan. Okay, and there was one bad character, Duryodhana, who was incarnation of Kali himself. So Kali took an incarnation in Dwapar Yuga, that is Duryodhana. So he's a personification of Kali, Duryodhana. So Duryodhana was never ready to hand over a share to the rightful share to the Pandavas. He was not even ready to give a pin of place to Pandavas. Okay, so then there was no other option except war. Okay, so both the parties, they started planning, and they started assembling, and they started talking to their friends to get ready for the war. Okay, now we'll come to the place of Kurukshetra. Okay, so that was some history. Okay, so now we'll come back to the Kurukshetra, where the war took place. Okay, so the place Kurukshetra has acquired a auspiciousness because this place was chosen by Kuru Maharaj to explore his kingdom. He did a lot of penance over here. He attained Lord Vishnu, and he attained boon from Lord Vishnu that he will be a self-controlled king, and he got a boon from Lord Vishnu that whoever dies in that place, which is called Kurukshetra, will attain heavenly planet. Okay, like that he got a boon. So that is the auspiciousness of Kurukshetra. That is the reason that place was chosen for the battle. Okay, because whoever dies, obviously one who dies in a war will definitely attain heavenly planet. But adding to that, if there is a auspicious place chosen, then it will for sure the person who dies in that place will attain the heavenly planet. Okay, so that was the reason why Kurukshetra place was chosen. And at present day also this place is there in Madhya Pradesh.
Haryana.
Sorry, Haryana.
Haryana.
Yeah. So Haryana. So we can still visit, and we can go to the place where Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna. Okay, and just let's observe the armies of Kurukshetra. Okay, the strength. Now Yudhishthira Maharaj and Duryodhana, they both acquired the armies. Okay, and Arjuna spoke to Krishna, and Arjuna requested Krishna to side him, and Duryodhana took the army of Krishna. Okay, and the armies are divided like this. Pandavas had 7 Akshohinis army, and Kauravas had 11 Akshohinis army. And this is the calculation what is meant by Akshohini. Okay, so total soldiers, this many. And count, can anybody count this? And this count includes the soldiers who do war, who participate directly in the war, and the people who assist them. Like if somebody has to do war, then he should take a chariot, and the chariot should be run by one person, and that person, and to them some people will be helping. Like when we see a war, apart from the soldiers, there will be doctors, there will be cooks, there will be other people who supply them the required paraphernalia to do the war. All this included is this was the count who helped. Pandavas, and this was the count who helped uh, Kauravas. And after the war was done, so the casualties and losses, and those who died and those who got injured. So from Pandavas side, almost 15,30,892 soldiers were died, mixed up, died and got injured. Okay, only 8 survivors: the Pandavas, Krishna, Satyaki, and Yudhu. So Yudhu was the son of Dhritarashtra. Okay, so how many of you know? How many of you have heard the name Yudhu? Anybody?
I heard in the sloka, bro.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bharat Vishnu. Okay. So Yudhu was son of the Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra, apart from Gandhari, he had 10 other wives, and apart from 10 other wives, he also had a relation with one maid servant who was his keep. Her son was Yudhu. Yudhu was initially with Kauravas, and when the war was about to start, there was an announcement that in this Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, if anybody still wanted to side dharma, living of adharma, they can voluntarily come, like that. There was an announcement. Then Yudhu just left Pandavas and he joined, Yudhu left Kauravas and he joined Pandavas. And this Yudhu was the one who opposed seriously when, Mother Draupadi was disrobed. Okay. So he was a very gentle, wise person. He was the only wise son of Dhritarashtra. Okay, and Dhritarashtra had 100 sons, one daughter, and daughter name is Duschala, and other 100 sons, Okay, so and from Kaurava's side, 224,05,697 soldiers were dead. Only 3 survivors were there. They were Ashwatthama, Kripacharya, and Kritavarma. Okay, so and Yudhishthira Maharaj, according to Yudhishthira Maharaj calculations, the different numbers were like this, like some 16 dead and 24,000 something was missing. Like, just to understand the strength of armies. Okay, and then okay, so the commanders, the heroes of Kurukshetra, who is siding whom? Okay, so for Pandava's side, Yudhishthira was the commander, Yudhishthira, and Drishtadyumna, who was the son of Duryodhana, Drupada Maharaj. Okay. So Drishtadyumna was the son of Drupada Maharaj, and Drishtadyumna was trained by Dronacharya. So Drishtadyumna was trained by Dronacharya to kill Dronacharya. So Dronacharya himself taught Drishtadyumna all the required subjects, like archery, fighting, everything was taught to him by Dronacharya. And the secret of Drishtadyumna's birth is to kill Dronacharya, and Dronacharya knows that. Okay, he was the commander of the entire army of Pandavas. And other commanders were Arjuna, Bhima, Drupada, Virata, Abhimanyu, Upa Pandavas, and sons of Draupadi Devi. Pandavas means sons of Draupadi Devi, and then Satyaki, Shikandi, Nakula, Sahadeva, and we all know the Supreme Personality is backing them. Okay, Krishna himself. Okay, and towards the Kaurava side, Dhritarashtra, the main demoniac character, and his son was Duryodhana, and the commander's chief Bhishma. Bhishma was never ready to do war with Pandavas, but still, with no option left, he had to participate in the war. But he still said that I am not going to harm Pandavas at any cost of time. He openly said, but still I will participate in the war, because I am I am working under you, like that. Bhishma says to Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. And Dronacharya, Karna, Shalya, Ashwatthama, other commanders, Dushashana, Jayadratha. Jayadratha is the husband of Duschala, who is the only daughter of Dhritarashtra. Okay, so Jayadratha is so lustful character that he once he proposes to Draupadi Devi, when they were in exile, he asked the Draupadi Devi to come and stay with him shamelessly, because in if you look at the relation, Draupadi becomes sister to Jayadratha, but still Jayadratha, so lustful man, he proposes, he teases, he disturbs Draupadi Devi, and he gets beaten up by Bhima and Arjuna. But still, such a worst character is Jayadratha. Then Krupacharya, who is the uncle of Dronacharya. Then Kritavarma, Bhurishwara's Malika, and these are and Shakuni was the strength to the Kauravas. Okay, so these are the chief commanders of Kauravas and Pandavas. Okay, and now, so the war is yet to start. Okay, so I have two options for you. So till here, anybody has any doubt?
No, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji.
So are you
Very
enjoying
clear.
the story?
Prabhuji.
Are you enjoying the story, or it's boring, or too much?
No, very detailed.
Interesting.
No, we are
Very
interesting and
Detailed.
we are enjoying, Prabhuji.
We are
Very
enjoying.
enjoying.
All these details, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, one more thing, that
Understanding.
uncle of Pandavas will go to the
Yeah.
Kaurava side. What is his name?
Shalya.
Shailya. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Shalya, he is a very mighty person. So he wants to help Pandavas, and he takes his kingdom and he travels to the Kurukshetra place. And Duryodhana knows about the strength of Shalya. So what Duryodhana plans is, so in middle he stops Shalya and he arranges a big feast to Shalya. And Shalya becomes so pleased, and Shalya thinks that this was arranged by the Yudhishthir Maharaj, but it was arranged by Duryodhana. And Shalya is such a person that if somebody praises, somebody glorifies him, he will give his entire life to them. So then, after enjoying the big feast given by Duryodhana comes to Shalya and he starts glorifying Shalya. Then Shalya becomes so overpowered, puffed, and he says, my dear, you ask anything, I'm ready to give like that. Then, Duryodhana, he holds his hand and stick to this word, you just side me. You become chief of my army, one part of my army, like that, Duryodhana takes the advantage of, Shalya. So that's how Duryodhana, cheats, and he captures Shalya, and Shalya becomes the charioteer of Karna. Karna was so powerful. He has all the astras to kill Pandavas, but still he could not kill, because so though Shalya sided Kauravas, so Pandavas, once they come, they get to know that Duryodhana cheated and captivated Shalya. Then Yudhishthir Maharaj goes to Shalya and he says that, my dear uncle, you were supposed to side me, but you are siding Duryodhana. Then Shalya says, my dear son, I had no idea what I was doing. He gave me a feast, I gave him word, so now I cannot do anything. Then, like that, Shalya replies. Then Yudhishthir Maharaj says, no problem, you just side them, but you just help us in one way, that, when you see Karna, when you meet Karna, you start, talking to him in such a way that, he gets discouraged. So once, Shalya becomes the charioteer of Karna, he teases Karna in such a way that, what are you? What kind of a person are you? You are just son of a charioteer. Do you think that you will, win this war? No, you are, from the birth itself, you have been cursed by everybody. Like that, he reminds the loops of Karna, and he discourages Karna. Karna becomes so angry that he could not concentrate on the war at some point of time because of Shalya. So that in that way, Shalya helped the Pandavas. Okay, so that's the character of Shalya.
And the architect was the Shakuni for all this.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Welcome, Prabhu. So the war is yet to start. Okay. So from here, the conversation starts. Okay. Dhritarashtra asks Sanjaya. So Sanjaya is the minister of Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya was the son of one of the charioteer of Dhritarashtra. He was also a Suta, son of a Suta. Suta means the person who rides the chariot. Sanjay was one of the son of Suta person, but Sanjaya was so talented. He also studies along with the Dhritarashtra under Vyasa Bhagavan. So Sanjaya is been gifted with a boon to have a live darshan in his mind. Nowadays we are seeing live telecast, but Sanjaya used that the Divya Drishti, what we call. So he was able to see the war lively sitting at the palace, not palace, nearby the battlefield. Okay, and he was narrating the second to second of the battlefield to Dhritarashtra. So that was the gift which was gifted to Sanjay because of his truthfulness, because of his righteousness. Because Sanjay also never never accepted to do the war, because Sanjay knows that Kauravas cannot win, but still he had to accept the command of his king Dhritarashtra. So he got associated with Dhritarashtra, and he started narrating story to the Dhritarashtra. Then Dhritarashtra asked Sanjaya. The first sloka of Bhagavad Gita starts, was spoken by Dhritarashtra himself. He says, Dhritarashtra Vacha. He says, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samveta Yutsava Mamaka Pandavas Kimu Kurvata Sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra asks Sanjaya that, my dear Sanjaya, now tell me, the Dharma Kshetra Kurukshetra, the very auspicious place of Kurukshetra, my sons and Pandu's sons, both assembled, what are they doing? Now tell me like that, Dhritarashtra asks Sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra here itself, we can understand the character of Dhritarashtra. See, in another sense, Pandavas are also sons of Dhritarashtra only, because his brother's sons only, So in another sense, they are also, sons only, but still, Dhritarashtra, he never sees them as equal. He always separates Pandavas and Kauravas, and Dhritarashtra asks Sanjay that what my sons and Pandu's sons are doing. Okay, like that he questions. Okay, so Dhritarashtra, one good lesson that we have to learn from Dhritarashtra. There are few lessons. One is that Dhritarashtra was always fond of his son. He was always affectionate towards his son. He listens everything, but he never follows. He follows only what Duryodhana says. Like we are trying to Krishna conscious. Dhritarashtra tries to become Duryodhana conscious. Always Duryodhana conscious. So that's the only bad thing that Duryodhana had. But there are few good things that we have to learn from Duryodhana. End of the session, I'll tell you what good things we have to learn from Dhritarashtra. Okay. So Dhritarashtra questions, and then Sanjay replies, Sanjay Vacha. दृष्ट्वा तु पांडवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तथा आचार्यं उपसंगम्य राजा वचनम अब्रवीत्. So Sanjay replies, my dear king, looking at the armies of Pandavas, so your son Duryodhana, he went to Dronacharya and he started talking to Dronacharya. Like that, the conversation starts. So now here I want to ask all of you a question. So do you want me to just narrate the story, or do you want me to walk you through, the sloka by sloka, the conversation, the actual conversation, what is happening?
Shloka by
What do you want me
shloka,
to-
Prabhuji.
Sloka.
Yeah, Prabhuji, sloka by sloka.
Shloka by
Because your
shloka.
explanation in sloka by sloka is very clear.
Okay, so, okay, fine. So all of you are ready? That way of
Yes,
narration?
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Fine,
Yes,
fine. So I will open the slokas, okay, and I'll read the sloka and I'll tell you what is the conversation happening. Okay, so like that the session will be. One moment. Share. Okay, so all of you are able to see the screen, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So the conversation happens like this. Okay. Sanjay is speaking. Pachetam Panda Putranam Achari Mahatim Chamam Vyudam Drupada Putrena Tavasishyena Matam Atra Shurama Heshwasa Bhima Janusama Idi Vyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharada Drushtaketuschekitana Kashi Rajascha Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bojasa Saibachana Rapungava Yudamanuscha Vikranta Uttamojascha Viryavan Drupado Drupadesa Sarva Eva Maharata अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाय तानि बोधति जो तमा नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थन्तान् ब्रवीमिते भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च शमतिञ्जयाश्वत्थामा विकर्णाश्च सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च. So this was spoken by Duryodhana. Duryodhana is saying he went to Dronacharya and he's telling to Dronacharya that see my dear Acharya, look at your disciples, your students. Okay, so look at Dushtadyumna who was trained by you. Okay, so he's sarcastically speaking to Dronacharya that, look at them, how they have arranged the army. Okay, and see who all are, gathered with them. Okay, so he says the names whom I just, recited. He says, see, all of them has gathered together and, they are trying to do war. They're trying to counterattack you. So do you know, Dronacharya, who are with me? So now you heard about their strength, right? Now you listen about our strength. Okay. Then Dhritarashtra, speaks to Dronacharya that, my dear Acharya, they may be having many, heroes, but do you know who are with me? My dear Acharya, Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha, my dear Acharya, you Bhishma Karna, you are there with me. So, they are trained by you, but you, the trainer, the teacher is with me. So you are the biggest strength of me, like that, he glorifies Dronacharya. So his intention is that, if he glorifies Dronacharya, he will become so, puffed up with the words of Duryodhana, and he, appreciates Duryodhana like that, he thinks. But Dronacharya knows that, they cannot win the war. They're just trying to do their duty. That's it. Okay. So hence, still the conversation continues. Okay. So then, then Anye Jabaha Vashura, then Duryodhana starts narrating, starts speaking to Dronacharya. Anye Jabaha Vashura Madartya, Tattva Jivita, Nana Shastra Parharna, Sarve Yuddha Visharada, Aparyaptam Tadasmakam Balam Bhishma Virakshitum, Paryaptam Tvayadamedesham Balam Bhima Virakshitum, Ainecha Sarvesha Bhagamam Sita Bhishmameva Virakshantu Bhavanta Sarva Evahi, Tatsya Sanjane Anharsha Kuru Pitamaha, Simhanadam Vinadyoche, Senkam Dharmo Pratapa. So Duryodhana continues telling, my dear master, my dear Acharya, let them be have anybody. I am not worried at all. Okay, what is the strength of Bhima in front of Bhishma? So Bhima has a very limited power of Bhishma. So I'm not worried about such, miscreants, such, low strengthy people. And while talking like this, Ainesh Sarvesh Yatha Bhagamav Siddha Bhishmameva Virakshantu Bhavanta Sarva. And do you know, my dear Acharya, who is safeguarding our armies? He's Bhishma himself divided our armies into different places, and he is guiding them. We have Bhishma with us. So what to talk of Bhima with them? So Duryodhana was always behind Bhima. He never likes Bhima, because Bhima many times he begged, he punished Kauravas, and always they developed enemy towards Bhima upon his strength. How much ever they were trying to kill Bhima, and Bhima becomes more than powerful than he has. So how many ever times Kauravas try to kill Bhima, he becomes more powerful than he was. But that's the reason they always becomes envy of looking at the strength of Bhima. So Duryodhana was so envious towards Bhima. He never likes Bhima. So he says to Acharya, Dronacharya, that this Bhima, he is nothing in front of Bhishma. Of course, however, but he doesn't have to talk in such a way. So and meanwhile, when he was conversing with the Dronacharya, Bhishma, he took his counsel and he starts blowing it. Okay. So tasya sanjane anhasham kuru vruddhapitam asimhanadam vinadyoche sankam dadmau prathapavan. So Bhishma blows his conch shell. Okay. Tatashankascha bhairyascha panavanaka gomukha sahasaivyabhya hinyantasha shabdascha tumlo bhavat. So after listening to the Gomukha, the conch shell name of Bhishma is Gomukha. After listening to the sound of Gomukha, conch shell from Bhishma, then Krishna and Arjuna, who were sitting in a white chariot, Tata Sveterha Yukte Mahatisyandana Stitho Madhava Pandavaschaiva Divyo Sengo Pradhamato Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Bhaumram Datmo Mahasenkam Bhima Karma Vrupodara Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthira Nakula Sahadevacha Sughosho Manipushpako Kasyascha Parameshwasha Sikandi Maharada Drishtatyumno Viratasha Satyakascha Parajita Drupado Draupadesha Sarve Shantapradvipate Saubhadrascha Mahabaho Senkan Dadmo Pratak. So Sanjaya says to Dronacharya that after listening to the sound of Gomukha conch shell from Bhishma, then Krishna and Arjuna sitting in a white chariot, they also took away their conch shells and they started blowing it. Krishna started blowing the Panchajanya conch shell, then Arjuna started blowing the Devadatta, and Bhima started blowing the Vrupodara conch shell, and followed by Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj blowed the Ananta Vijaya conch shell. Then Nakula Sahadeva, they started blowing their Sughosha and Manipushpaka conch shells. And then Kasyascha Parameshwasha Sikandi Maharaj, Kashi Maharaj and Shikandi, they also started blowing their shells. And Drishtadyumna, Virata, Satyaki, everybody started blowing their shell, and followed by them Drupada, Draupadesha and Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna, also started blowing the conch shells, their respective conch shells. So, listening to this conch shell sound, listening to this sound of this conch shells blowed by Krishna, Arjuna, and remaining Pandavas, some of the Kaurava soldiers, they got heart attack there itself in the trembling sound. It is said that the Bhayanu Nadayan. So the Nada, the sound which came out of the conch shells of these great legends, that killed a few soldiers of Kauravas. So that was the strength, that was the sound of the conch shells. Okay. Okay. So then Sagosho Dhartar Ashram Hudyan Vidaret Nabascha Prativim Cheva Tumulopiyanadayan. So by hearing to the sound of the conch shells, some soldiers they were dead. After that, what happened is Atavyavastita Andrishtva Dhartar Ashran Kapidvaja Pravute Shastra Sampate Dhanurudyam Yapandava Rishikesham Tadavakyam Idam Ahamahi Pate. So after that, Arjuna being in a chariot, the chariot which has a flag which has been embedded with the Lord Hanuman's picture. Okay, so Lord Hanuman resides on the chariot of Arjuna. Okay, he safeguards the chariot of Arjuna. He also helps Arjuna in the war. Okay, Kurukshetra war. So with that chariot, in that chariot, Arjuna and Krishna, then Arjuna, speaks to Krishna in this way, says that Arjuna Vacha, Senayorubayor Madhye Ratam Sthapayam Yachuta Yavare Dani Riksheham Yodukaman Avastitam Kairmaya Saha Yodavyam Asmin Rana Samudhaye. Then Yotsamanama Viksham Yete Samagatha Dhritarashtrasya Durupder Yuddhe Priyachikir Shabha. So Arjuna says to Krishna that, my dear Krishna, please take the chariot to the middle of the battlefield. Let me see who all are there, who all are standing with Kauravas by listening to the words of the stupid Dhritarashtra. Let me have a look at those who have come to do war with me today. Like that, Arjuna spoke very violently to Krishna. Then Sanjaya, again narrating back to Dhritarashtra, Sanjay was evamukto Rishikesha Gudakeshena Bharatasena Yor Madhye Stapitvarto Tamam Bhishma Drona Pramkata Sarvesham Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashetan Samavetan Purunite Tatra Pashyati Partha Pitrun Atapima Pitamaha Acharya Matulan Bratun Putra Potra Sakim Sata Swashurasu Radachaiva Sena Bayorapi. So Sanjay is saying that after Arjuna spoke to Krishna that take the chariot to middle of the battlefield, Krishna eventually he took the chariot to the middle of battlefield. Then Arjuna started looking at the armies of Kauravas, who all are there like that. He saw Bhishma, Drona, Krupa, Karna, Shalya, all these great personalities he saw. Tatra Pashyati Dinpar Partha Pitrun Atapitamaha Acharyan Matulan Bhatun Putra Potra Sakim Sata Swashurasura Desaiva Sena Ubayorapi. So he looked at both the armies, Kauravas and Pandavas. He found his friends, his siblings, his mother side relatives, father side relatives, everybody is standing towards both the sides and ready to kill each other, ready to defeat each other. Okay. And Tan Samikshasa Kaunteya Sarvan Bandun Avasthitam Kripaya Parya Vishto Vishadana Idam Pravit. Look, glancing at them, Arjuna immediately, a kind of picture run in his mind that now if I do war, all of them going to fight together and all of them are going to kill each other. So assuming this, thinking, he's overthinking. He thinks this and he just picturizes what is going to happen in the future, coming future. And because of that overthinking, Arjuna once becomes so upset that where did we come? We came to see the annihilation of our own siblings, our own relatives, our own uncles, our own teachers. What is this? Like that he picturized the future and he became upset. Okay. Because Dronacharya's teacher, Bhishma is grandfather. Then Arjuna says, after looking at that, then Arjuna starts talking to Krishna, saying to Krishna that Drishtve mam swajanam Krishna yut samsompastitam siddhanti mama gatrani mukam cha parishishyati. Arjuna says, my dear Krishna, just looking at the armies who are present in this battlefield, who are ready to fight each other, my mouth is choking up. I'm unable to talk. My voice is choking up, and my face is shaking. Mukam cha parishishyati. My face is shaking. My dear Krishna, Vepatuscha sharire me roma harshacha jayate gandivam shamasate hastat vakchaiva paridahyate. My dear Krishna, looking at this, picturizing this scene, what is going to happen in the future, my body is shaking. The temperature of my body is increasing. My the hairs present on my hands, legs, they are just standing with fear. And Gandiva. So Gandiva is the extended body part of Arjuna, like the way we have the extended part, mobile, as our body part. One of the extended body part of us, the mobile. In the same way, Arjuna has an extended body part, that is Gandiva, which is being gifted to him by Surya Bhagavan. Okay, so it was his favorite weapon. It was his constant companion. Okay, that is being slipped. Okay, so it is said that as long as Gandiva is there in Arjuna, nobody can defeat him. Okay, so that's the reason he never leaves the Gandiva. But looking at the picturizing the nearest future situation, he's becoming so upset, so lamenting, so overwhelmed, and his body's body's temperature is increasing, his hairs are standing, and his voice is choking up. Okay, so all the bad signs are coming up. All the unauspicious things are happening to him. Okay, Gandhi Vamshamasati Hasta Pakchaiva Paridahyate. And then he speaks. Nacha Shakno me avasthitum Brahmati Vachami Mananimittani cha Pashyami Viparitani Keshava. My dear Krishna, I cannot imagine what is going to happen. What are the what is going to happen in future? What is the destruction that is going to happen? Okay, my dear Keshava, I cannot imagine that. न च श्रेयोनु पश्यामि दृष्ट्वा हत्वा स्वजनम ahave न कांक्षam vijayam Krishna न च राज्यम सुखानि च. Arjuna says, my dear Krishna, I don't feel that this is something which is peaceful to us, which prospers us. This doesn't look to me good at all. Okay, I am not ready. I cannot have my own people getting killed in my hands. I can't even look, I can't even imagine, I can't even see the victory of me by having my own people killed in my hands. And I can't even enjoy, I can't even have a peaceful kingdom by killing them. Like that, Arjuna expresses his lamentation to Krishna. And then Arjuna continues, Kim no rajyena Govinda kim bhogena jivitena va esham arte kanchitam no rajyam bhoga sukhanisha तान इमे अवस्थितम युद्धे प्राणाम त्याक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्य पितर पौत्रा तथैवाच पितामह मातुल शशूर पौत्र शल्य संबंधिनस्तत एतान् हन्तुम् इच्छामि गृहन्तोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्या राज्यस्य हेतो किन्नु महि कृते निहत्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान्नो का प्रीतिः स जनार्दन. So Arjuna says that, my dear Govinda, why should I have this kingdom? Why should I enjoy this kingdom by killing my own people? Why should I enjoy this, glories? Why should I enjoy these opulences? How can I enjoy? By taking the lives of my own people who are ready to give their life, Acharya, Pitamaha, okay? They are ready to give their lives, but I am not ready. Shalya is ready. Shashura Pautra, my children, grandchildren, by the time the Kurukshetra war was taking place, Arjuna was somewhere around I guess 85 years, something like that. So doesn't compare with the ages of Kali Yuga. Those in that time, the ages were different. Their strength was different. Okay, so Krishna was somewhere around 120 years, like that. Okay, so
125 years.
Yeah, 125 years. Yes, thank you. Wow. So my children, grandsons, all are going to get killed in our hands. Why should we kill them? So, my dear Krishna, I am not ready to do this war, even if the three lokas, okay, the three lokas are given to me in exchange. Okay, I'm not ready. Okay, this is Apitrailokya Rajas Heto Kinnu Mahi Krite Nihatva Dartara Ashamno Kapriti Sajana. I am, let me tell you one thing, Krishna. I'm not ready to fight, even if even in exchange of three lokas, but I'm ready to get killed by Duryodhana. I'm ready. I give up my life to him. Let him kill me. I'm not ready, my dear Janardana. I'm not ready. Like that, Arjuna continues expressing his lamentation. Papam Evershed, he still continues, and now till now he was saying that why should I kill him? Now he is telling that if, for example, if we have killed them, okay, if we have owned the victory, we got the victory, then what are the consequences that we are going to have? That he is narrating to Krishna. Papam evershe edasman hadvaitan atataina tasman narahavayum hantum dartarachan sobandhavan swajanam hekatam hatva sukina syama madhava yadepina pashyanti lobo bahata chetasa kulakshe kutam dosham mitra drohe chapatakam katam nagnema sambhi papa dasmani vatatam kulakshe kutam dosham prapsyat virjanardana. My dear Krishna, let's assume that we have killed them. So what are we going to have? We are going to have the impious credit with us, okay? So which will not help us to lead a peaceful life. So because we have killed our own people, right? Who will kill their own people? Atatai. Arjuna mentions a word called atatai. So atatai is the word which is which is told to the people who kills, who behaves, who does such a mischievous things that which is harmful to their own people. Okay, so what kind of this thing, like what is that? Why do we have to acquire so much impious credit by killing our own people, by becoming Adatayanas? Okay, so it looks like because of my greedy, I'm killing all of them and acquiring and assuming that I will enjoy the kingdom, but in return to that, I'm going to enjoy the what we say, the impious credit, the bad karma. Okay. Katam name asambhi papad asmanivatam kulakshe krutam gosham prapsyat virjanardana. And Arjuna continues to tell that, my dear Krishna, by killing them, it is nothing but I am killing the dynasty of my own. And it is said that, it is nothing but my own kula, my own family I am killing. Okay. And killing of that, my own family is so danger that, it is said that Kulakshe pranasyanti kula dharma sanatana dharme nashto kulam krishnam adharmo vibhavati. By killing them, I will establish adharma. Okay. So adharma will explore everywhere. Adharma will come into existence because, how the adharma will come is because if one of the head of the family member is killed, then their family, there will be nobody to look after their family. And Arjuna continues to tell that, adharmo bhavat Krishna pratyushyanti kula striya strishu dushtashu vakshnaya jayate varna sankara. So, my dear Krishna, let's assume that I've killed those kings who were present in this battlefield, and after killing them, their family becomes alone, and the women of these kings becomes left. They will not have anybody to look after them. And because they don't have anybody to look after them, somebody may come and take away this woman. Somebody may develop illicit relation with this woman because women usually they need somebody's support to take care. Because in Kali Yuga, of course, they don't need anybody. Every woman is an individual empowered woman. But in those days, it was not like that. So women were under the control of men or some head of the family. So, my dear Krishna, by killing the heads of the family, where all these women will go? Somebody may come and develop the illicit relation with them, and that way the Varna Sankara happens. Okay. So, usually, if Varna Sankara means, there are, as you all know, that there are 4 Varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Okay. So, these are the 4 Varnas. There were no, caste system that time. There was only Varna, 4 divisions. That's all. The entire population was divided into 4 divisions: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and that was also based on the gunas. Okay, so it is said by Krishna himself that Chaturvarnya Maya Sushta Guna Karma Vibhagasa Tasya Kartarapma Vidya Kartaram Avyam. Krishna says that I introduced this Varnashrama system. That's 4 Varnas I introduced based on the karma, based on their guna, based on their characteristic. Okay, so if a Shudra's person's son behaves and develops Brahmanical qualities, he can be called as a Brahmana also. Okay, so we can see a best example. So the Karna was a son of Shudra, Suta, a charioteer. Okay, so he was a son of Shudra, but because he exposed Kshatriya qualities, he was being awarded with a kingdom. He was made a king. Okay. So that was the very equanimity they used to follow in those days. The Varnashram system was that loyal. Okay. So, my dear Krishna, so the adharma will fall into the existence, and the chastity women will be captivated by the miscreants, and they outrage their modesty, and the Varna Sankara develops from there. Okay, so I don't want to become the root cause of this Varna Sankara. So what happens if Varna Sankara happens? So Sankaro Narakayeva Kulagnanam Kulasya Patanti Pitro Hesham Lupta Pindodaka Kriya. See, in our Sanatan Dharma is designed, is made in such a way that so there are certain rules, there are certain rituals that are being told to us, that are being prescribed to us by the Supreme Personality himself, that as long as we are there, we are living our life on this planet Earth, we are debited to our forefathers. We have to give the Pinda Udaka to our forefathers. Pinda Udaka means the rice and water. These should be supplied to our forefathers in a ritual form. Okay, so this is our responsibility. This has been prescribed to us. And when we leave our body, our grandchildren, children should follow that same tradition, because the way it is designed is like jivo jivasya jivana. So one should help other to lead their life. So we help Pitru Devatas, our forefathers who are residing in Pitru Loka, and they help us, they bless us with the children and whatever we need. I mean, as long as we follow that tradition of respecting our forefathers, so we will lead a peaceful life. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that Devadvija Guru Prajna Pujanam Sauchamajam Brahmacharima Himsacha Shariram Tapauchate. With this body, if you respect Devatas, Brahmanas, and your forefathers, your parents, forefathers, and if you lead a brahmacharya life, that is nothing but with this body you're doing a severe tapas, penance. Okay? So like that Krishna said. So we are debited to our forefathers. We have to give them the timely rice and water, the pinda udaka. So you all might have seen that. Okay, so this should be given, and that should be given by their family members only. For example, if I am there, okay, so I have to leave pinda udaka to my forefathers. However, if I start developing a relation with the illicit lady or some illicit connection, then I lose that right eligibility to give pinda udaka. And the same way, the woman also belongs to another varna. If they get married to a different varna, the mixture of varnas will become, and nobody knows to whom they have to give pinda udaka. And these forefathers will be left without any pinda udaka. That is again a bad sign. That is again a very, very inauspiciousness to the human society, because as long as we satisfy Pitrus and Devatas, then only we get timely rains and children, and all this will happen. So Arjuna continues, says that my dear Krishna, if I kill these people, then nobody will be there to offer this pinda udaka to their forefathers. No, people will be confused to whom they have to offer pinda udaka. So this ritual will be left over. So, and then Arjuna continues, says, Dosher ete kulagnana varna sankarakara utsyadente jati dharma kula dharma shashwita utsanna kula dharmana manushanam janardana narakeni etam vasho bhavatite anusushma. And Arjuna continues, says that, my dear Janardana, I heard that in Shastras, those who are the cause of destruction of their own family members, they have a confirmed seat in Naraka. So those who disturb, those who doesn't follow the varnashram dharma, or those who are the cause of breaking the lineage of the varna and breaking the lineage of dynasty families, they go to Naraka. Like that I read Krishna. So why should we involve in this ghastly war? Like that Arjuna can ahobata mahatpavam kartum yavasitavayam yadrajasuka lobena hatva sajanam udeta yadimam apratikaram ashastram shastrapani dhartarasharane hanyutan vikshemataram bhavet. So Arjuna says that, my dear Krishna, even for 1 second I am not ready to participate in this war. Why should I become the root cause of killing my own people and developing and giving a chance for adharma and developing Varna Sankara, which leads to no rituals of Pinda Udaka. So why should I become mine? Why should I confirm? Why should I make my birth confirm in Naraka? Why should I do that? So it's better that, let me leave all my weapons, let me leave my Gandiva, everything. I'll just stay barehanded and I'll wait Duryodhana to kill me. He says, Yadimam apratikaram ashastram, shastrapanaye, ashastram. So let me become ashastram, barehanded, no weapons in my hand. Okay. Dhartarashtra nehanyu tanme kshemataram bhavit. So Dhartarashtra, the son of Dhartarashtra, Duryodhana, let him chase me and kill me. I'm ready to get killed in his own hands instead of becoming root cause of all this devastation. Tanme kshemataram. I feel that is the best thing for me to Krishna. I'm not ready to fight. Like that Arjuna laments and he falls down in the chariot. He just, like what we say, at once he just falls down in the chariot. And this has been narrated to Dhritarashtra by Sanjaya Vacha. Sanjaya says, Sanjaya Vacha, Evam uktva Arjuna Sanke Rato Pashta Upavisit Visargasasharam Chapam Soka Sambigna Manasa. So Sanjaya is saying to Dhritarashtra that, by speaking though Arjuna, just once he fell down in the chariot, he gave up. Like that, Sanjay narrates to Dhritarashtra. So Arjuna is so powerful, mighty person. He, with his one hand, he's called Adhirata. Okay. So one day, Krishna and Arjuna, they were wandering in a place, okay, where there was a big forest. Okay. So suddenly, Surya Bhagavan comes to him with a very unhealthy situation. Surya Bhagavan comes to them, and they notices that he is nothing but Surya Bhagavan, Lord Surya. Then they question Surya, my dear Surya, what happened to you? Why are you, so looking like so unhealthy? What is the reason? Like that, they inquire. And Surya Bhagavan says that, so my dear Krishna, you know everything, but you still wanted to listen from me. So let me tell you what happened is there was a king who did, unlimited yajnas. He poured, ghee like that, entire whatever ghee that is present in this world. He poured that and he did yajna. And since I have to consume that, I consumed, and because of consumption, I developed constipation. Okay, so I couldn't digest that. Now I need something, some herbs to make my stomach clear. Then Krishna says, "No, okay, that's fine. Then how can we help?" Then Arjuna and Krishna ask. So I'm here to burn out this forest. Okay, this forest has many herbs. Okay, I'll just burn out that forest, and because I consume the herbs, then my stomach gets clear like that. Surya Bhagavan, Lord Surya says. Then they says, who is stopping you? You are just burning. Man, you have lot of heat. You can just in 1 second you can burn out this forest like that. They says that how many other times I am trying to burn out this forest. It is been protected by Indra. One of Indra's friend Takshaka is residing in this forest. Indra is pouring the rain and is stopping my fire like that. Surya Bhagavan says to Krishna and Arjuna. Then this is okay. Then what do you want us to do? Then Arjuna Surya Bhagavan says that I request Arjuna to help me burning out this forest. So then Arjuna says, I can help you, but I can do one thing. I can just build a roof with arrows, okay? So that even if the rain, I cannot, with that roof, I cannot allow even a single drop to fall on this forest when you're burning out this. Then, but Arjuna says, but I need one such, potential weapon which will be useful, which will be good enough to sustain the speed of shooting of arrows from my hand. Then Surya Bhagavan, he says, he gifts him with this Gandiva, and with the Gandiva, within a span of second, he builds a roof, towards somewhere like 80 square kilometers. He builds a roof, and Indra starts pouring the rain. Even a single drop doesn't reach to that forest. Surya Bhagavan, he lavishly, enjoys that forest. He burns out that forest and he leaves on. So, and that time, Lord Surya gave this Gandiva bow and a great chariot he gifted to Arjuna, because Arjuna helped to Surya Bhagavan. And Arjuna was so mighty that even Indra could not defeat him. Arjuna was so mighty that at once in Virat Raj, where they were hiding in a disguise, so they were at the end of their exile period. Okay, so that time Duryodhana and their party got to know that these people are residing in Virat Raj, so let's go and attack Virat Raj, Virat kingdom, and let us take away the entire the cattle of the that is called Pashu Sapada, the cows. Let us take away the cows. That is called Gograhan. Okay, so let us attack Virat Raj and let's find out the Pandavas like that they plan. If they find out the Pandavas before completing their exile period, and they again have to go to forest for next 12 years. So that was their plan. Okay, so they attacked Virat Raj, okay, the kingdom of Virat, at once without any prior notice. Now the king Virat was so confused, he had nobody to counterattack them. And there, Arjuna was residing in a discourse that, as a what we call he teaches the dance to the daughter of Virat Raj. Okay, and Arjuna comes and he starts fighting with Duryodhana Sena, and he shoots arrows in such a way that except Bhishma, everybody becomes unconscious. So that was the power of Arjuna, and that person now in the battlefield, he's lamenting, looking at his own people. So he becomes so upset. In the same way, in our life also, when we have to counterattack our own people, we will be bewildered what to do, what we have to do, whether we have to counterattack them or we have to compromise and lead a life as slaves to them, those who are commanding us. How do we have to behave in such a situations? Okay, so this kind of situation will happen to everybody. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us, how do we have to counterattack, how do we have to behave in such situations? Okay, and this was the conversation happening between Krishna and Arjuna. Okay, and next sessions we will try to learn what Krishna was teaching to Arjuna. Okay, and in the beginning of the session, I told there are few good qualities that Dhritarashtra has. I said I will tell at the end of the session. Can anybody imagine what? Can anybody guess what are the good qualities that we have to learn from Dhritarashtra? Can anybody say?
Prabhuji, he is very concentrated when he has an disability, but still he crosses his disability to achieve something. He's so strong that with his disability also he can defeat people.
Okay, close to right. Thank you. Anybody can else try? No problem. Whatever you feel, you can say. You can unmute and say.
He is the good listener first of all, and secondly, he likes at the initial stages to Pandavas.
Nice, nice. Anybody else can try? Okay. So let me tell you. So one of the best quality of Duryodhana that we can adapt is that, I mean, not completely adapt, only that quality we have to adapt. So Duryodhana, though he is a blind, disabled person, he was so corrupted. He was so envious, so greedy. Okay. He was always his son conscious. Okay. But the only one good quality that he has is he was always in association of good people. It's satsanga, what we say. So he was always, constantly, he was associated with Vidura and Sanjaya. These are the very, very wonderful characters, They know all the Shastras. They always follow Dharma. Okay. So Dhritarashtra, though he doesn't follow Dharma, but he, pays patience to listen Dharma. So one day, Vidura questions Dhritarashtra. So I'm telling you so many things, but you're not following anything. So what is the use of me telling? So Dhritarashtra says, see, I know that I'm so adharmic. I know that, I love my son madly. I'm crazy about my son. But still, I like to listen Dharma. Whatever you say, though I don't follow, but I like to listen. So this quality of Duryodhana, see, we being Kali Yuga Vasis, our lives are so miserable that we have to satisfy our family members, we have to satisfy our bosses at office, we have to satisfy our siblings, our friends. Sometimes the life becomes in such a way that we are leading a life to just show off ourselves so that we are not underestimated by somebody, maybe sibling or at office or at somebody. So in that journey, we tend to lose, or we tend to forget what is the purpose of our life. We say that as an exception and we excuse listening the spiritual knowledge. So no matter whatever we are in our life, whatever what kind of whatever it may be, so maybe it may not be so favorable to spiritual life, but still having an habit of listening to the spiritual knowledge, having association of good people will definitely help you. So at last what happened is, by having, though Dhritarashtra was not following the dharma, so by having the company of Vidura, so at last, when all his sons were dead, so one day he left his kingdom. Though after his sons were dead, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Dharmaraj, he was he respected Dhritarashtra in such a way that his own son never respected him in that way. Though Dhritarashtra was, having all respect from Pandavas, but still, he could not, because Vidura told him that this is not the purpose of your life. What are you doing? You're just eating the Juta food, the food leftover of Pandavas. Is this what you're leading for? Like that, he gives him philosophy. Vidura gives him philosophy to Dhritarashtra. So the Dhritarashtra once, at one point of time, he realizes what is the purpose of life, and he leaves to forest, and he does a severe penance that from his own body he develops fire, and he gets burned in that fire, and he leaves his body. Okay, so you will get that kind of what do we say, spiritual strength without knowingly within him, just by having the satsang, the good association. Okay, so we should not adapt the qualities of Dhritarashtra, of his entire life, but one quality that is, whatever, no matter whatever life we are leading, we should have an association of good people, the spiritual people, spiritual talk, spiritual knowledge. Okay, so that will help us in our life when we are about to leave, when we leave our body. Okay, so that's the learning that we have to learn from Dhritarashtra, and going forward we will be learning many things. Okay, so I would like to stop here. I am sorry if I have taken much time, if the session was too heavy, too much confusing, too fast. I'm sorry, because I had to tell many things. Because this chapter, it is in our syllabus, it is like that. The entire summary should be told in one class only for this chapter. So that's the reason I had to run through slokas. And if anybody wants to learn reciting the slokas, we'll have another special session that we'll plan going forward, and we'll schedule a session for that. Okay, so till here, if anybody has any doubts, you can ask. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Kaushal Prabhu.
Prabhuji, with this, today, whatever you have explained, is it going to be completed with the 47 slokas and the first chapter? Can I think?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I recited entire 47 slokas.
Yeah, that is, you are, Prabhuji,
I just run through. I agree that, I just run through, but I had to.
Yeah. And one more small request, because we are the learner, we are not come to your level another decade also. So please guide us how to read, how to learn, and how to read the slokas and remember the slokas. You are the expert in that area. Kindly guide us.
Definitely, Prabhu. Nobody is expert. Nobody is just like that. Everybody is expert over here to my what I think is, because it's just that we can learn. Anybody can learn these slokas. If I can learn, why can't you? Okay, so it's just that our passion drives us, our curiosity makes us to listen, and our interest helps us to memorize the subject. Okay, so have these three things, definitely you will be able to learn. So I was also a student like you a few years back. Okay, one of my mentor, spiritual mentor, he taught us, and he told us, why can't you guys, why can't you try learning one sloka each day? I tried, so that's how I got to some extent I am able to recite. Okay. So like that, if you also try, you will also become perfect. It's not
Thank
a
you.
rocket science. It just
Thank you.
depends on your interest.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Welcome. Yes, Pooja Kataria Mataji, you have any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. My question is, Prabhuji, first slides, can you show me? I joined a little late, like first slides.
Okay, first slide one. You able to see my screen, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, so we started from the Chandra dynasty.
Yeah, Chandra.
This only. Okay. I thought I missed Surya dynasty. I was
No,
like,
we-
इतना जल्दी
yeah,
प्रभुजी ने
we-
Surya dynasty कर दिया.
Mataji?
I thought very fast you did Surya dynasty. We are in Chandra dynasty. I'm so late, very late.
No, I did not speak about Surya dynasty because
Okay.
that is a different subject.
Okay.
This was the thing we discussed in the beginning.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam.
So, anybody has any questions? Mahima Chaudhary,
Krishna Prabhu.
Madhurima Chaudhary,
Yeah, Dandavat Pranam.
Nanda
Prabhu,
Pranam.
I have 3 things to say.
Yeah,
Number 1, thank you for the wonderful class.
thank you.
Number 2, Prabhu, can we have that chart so we can refer it later? And third, if I want to read the Mahabharata in detail, I
Yeah.
want to, because last I read it in my childhood in that small book, Which book you refer?
So,
When you
there is,
refer a book.
yeah, so Mahabharata is the entire Mahabharata consists of 1 lakh slokas. Okay, so and it has many subdivisions. Okay, so
Khandas.
in detail, that's the reason it is being spread into 1 lakh slokas. So one of our ISKCON devotee, Prabhuji, he translated Mahabharata into 1 or 2 volumes. When slokas are not there, he just wrote the translation. Okay, that book you can refer to.
Okay.
So you can refer to, because precisely what we need to learn, that is there in that book. If not, always you can reach out to the Gita Press Mahabharata. So
Okay. The traditional ones with the Sanskrit and
yeah,
the translation.
yeah,
Okay.
it is in
Thank you.
3-4 volumes. Okay.
Okay.
So you can.
Okay. That's all. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the class.
Yeah, welcome. But it will take a lot of time. So it's up to your patience.
Right.
Okay. So thank you. Anybody else?
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, Srimad Bhagavatam that our Srila Prabhupada wrote, no, Prabhuji.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
like a big volume. In that, we don't have Mahabharata, Prabhuji, in the...
No. Srimad Bhagavatam is separate. Some chapters of Mahabharata are there in Bhagavatam, like passing away of Bhishma Pitamaha, and it is not in detail. A few chapters are there in Bhagavatam as well, but not entire Mahabharata is there in Bhagavatam. So Mahabharata itself is a big subject. As I said, it consists of 1 lakh slokas, whereas Srimad Bhagavatam has 18,000 slokas. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the history of our, from the beginning, from the time where the creation started. From that we got Srimad Bhagavatam, and it also has some clues about the Kali Yuga also. What is going to happen in future? How the Kali Yuga might get degraded too. So that is also there in Bhagavad.
that our Srila Prabhupada wrote.
Yeah, yes, mother.
Okay. Where I can read, which canto I should read to understand the end of...
Don't. My suggestion is don't pick canto wise. So let me. If I want to read some subject, then I pick so and so canto and read. Don't do in that way. Don't read in a jumbled manner. Okay, read in a proper manner. Start from canto 1. Okay. So the reason why I'm suggesting to read from canto 1 is that to understand the scriptures we need some purification. Okay? So we can just pick 10th canto or 11th canto and we can read, but if we don't have enough purification, we misunderstand that. We will get confused, and we will not be able to find out, we will not be able to reach out to the right person to get clarified. So that's the reason when you start reading from first canto, second canto, eventually you will get purified, and eventually you will get a strength to understand the rest of the philosophy. Okay? So that is the suggested manner. Please do read in that way only.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji, Hari Bol. I'm ready to get purified, so I am going to
Yeah,
do
that
it.
happens eventually, Mataji. All of a sudden it doesn't happen. So we all, everybody tries for that. It's not that somebody is pure, we are not like. All of us are pure to some extent. That's the reason we have gathered here. Okay, Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prabhadyante Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. So after many births, only one gets a chance to listen and listen about Vasudeva and to believe that Vasudeva is everything. To get to this understanding, it takes so many births. That means that all of you have crossed so many births and you have come near to stop this birth and death cycle. That's the reason you have joined in these classes. You got that intention to join these classes because you're near to cross over this birth and death cycle. Okay, so that means that to some level we are all purified.
All glories to assembled devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Guru.
Yeah, thank you for so much, like clearly explaining me. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you all. So thank you, Madhurima Chaudhary Mataji, Kaushalnath Prabhu, Priyanka Mataji, Bharat Bhushan Prabhu, Bhargavi Mataji, Bindu Mataji, Dr. Shivam Uddeshi Prabhu, Geeta Mataji, Ishita Wagila, Jeevan Kumar Prabhu, Lakshmi Mataji, Malati Mataji, okay, Nandini Mataji, Neeraj Prabhu, Pampa Pal Mataji. Oh, Pampa Pal Mataji, thank you for joining Mataji. Pooja Kataria Mataji, Pushpa Mataji, Sainath Prabhu, Sapan Prabhu, Satyaprasad Prabhu, Shanti Taniya Mataji, Surabhi. Thank you all. So, question Prabhu, yes, you have any questions?
Not the question. I want to congratulate to you, Prabhuji, for getting a promotion in devotional life. So I wasn't made to you. So once again, congrats to you. And likewise, you bless us also to grow in that direction of devotional. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Please pray for me so that I can I continue my devotional life with very humble servant to my gurus and
You're most welcome, Guru.
Krishna.
Thank you.
So thank you, Srinivas Manchi Prabhu.
Let's everyone say Hare Krishna Mahamantra for our
I
Shiksha.
request all of you to recite Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Glories to our Shiksha Guru. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for showing
Thanks
us.
a lot, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
So-
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So if no other questions, then we will stop here today. So we'll meet in the next session, which is going to be on Friday with the opening of second chapter. Okay. So, thank you all.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I wish Krishna, I wish and pray Krishna to bless you all with success in all your endeavors. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.